So, we need to chat, my friends. I was watching something, which I'll get into in a minute, and for some reason I realized that I really think I want to try daily vlogging. I might hate it, like a lot, but kind of do like Julian does, and do like just for the week and like the weekend. I kind of like that. I think a lot of people do that, but he's who I specifically watch, who I know does that. I guess all I want to say is I don't want to make any promises, because I might actually like really hate it, but at the same time I might really like it. So you never know. But what actually kind of made me think about doing this is I was watching Jen and Julie's podcast episode for this week. And if you don't watch or listen to that, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down below of their channel. It is phenomenal. Even if you don't like them or know, like, pay attention to them as people, it's still really great, and they're really funny, and they talk about, like, things that are going on a lot of the times, and yeah, it's just really nice, and I really enjoy it. And this week they were talking about the Marina Joyce situation that I would hope a lot of you would know about, and I will go into a little bit during a little drive. I'm driving to work, by the way, if I didn't say that. But they were talking about The Bachelorette, and they're talking about the realness on reality TV and how, you know, everything starts out as this real, and then it turns into fake, and then it turns into more fake, and then it turns into fake real, as Julian said. And then they kind of just went on this rant about how nothing is real enough for people anymore. And honestly, don't take this the wrong way, but I kind of want to do this as a way of just like being real with myself and reminding myself of what was going on during that time in my life. And I don't really want to do it for the subscribers and for, you know, anything that people kind of do YouTube for anymore. I just want to do it as like something fun and a little like outlet to my life, to remind myself of what I was doing in that part of my life, and maybe even show my family what's going on, because I don't see a lot of them but a few times a year. So yeah, I might. And as I said, this isn't a promise, but I might start doing daily vlogging. I don't know, with school coming up, and especially sorority recruitment in the fall, I don't really know how that will pan out, but we'll see. I don't know. I might really like it, I might hate it. So anyway, yeah, Julian was talking about this, what they call fake real, how even like YouTubers nowadays, it's really hard to find someone that's like genuinely real. And he said, you know, he was talking about this fake real, and it kind of like hit me how like scared I am of all the people I watch and look up to and love being fake real. And it kind of just like hit me in this weird way of like, you don't really know who is real and who isn't, because everything could be so edited. And that's kind of where I want to go with this, is that I really don't want this to be that edited. If I have the camera on, and if it's something that's appropriate, I'll put it in, even if it's just me the entire day, you know, sitting at the house. I'll try to fill you guys in on what I'm thinking about and different things that are going on in the day or whatever, because, you know, each day things do happen, even if it is just sitting at home and watching YouTube for 8 hours. Things do happen. So I guess that was kind of just my point of this. So if you don't like vlogs, thank you for subscribing so far, but if you don't want to watch, that's completely fine. As I said, you know, I kind of want to just do this for me and for people that want realness in their life and want someone that's going to be real, because trust me. If you follow my fan accounts or anything, I have 3 of them, you would know that I kind of keep it pretty real. Back to the Marina situation, really fast. If you haven't heard about it, I'm just going to give you a really brief overview, but make sure you definitely look it up and kind of read on it for yourself. I feel like if you were on Twitter or have Twitter that night, that it kind of all went down really bad. There was one, it went on for like 2 or 3 days, but there was one specific night where it was really bad. That honestly, it's kind of really hard to catch up on what really happened and the chaos that was really going on the internet that day. But pretty much, there's this British vlogger who does like beauty and fashion and different things. And there's no doubt, even still to this day, there's no doubt that there's something going on. No one knows what it is. It could be something as internal and as precious and as personal as a mental disorder. Oh my god. But it could be something as external and as help driven or help needed help. I don't know how to word that, but as an abusive relationship, or as it could be just something as bad as an abusive relationship, and people kind of went berserk, which sounds weird, but honestly, I've never seen anything like it. And all of the Twitter, I have 5 Twitter accounts. If you're not aware, I have 5 Twitter accounts. And I've been on Twitter since, I think, 2009 or 2010. And weirdly enough, since I do have 5 Twitter accounts, I would assume that you would think this, but I really love Twitter. I really love the home and the friendships it has brought me and different things. And I've never seen anything like it. And I have mentioned before, I've pretty much watched YouTube since 2007, 2008, something like that. And I've never seen anything like this happen on YouTube. It was just very chaotic and very scary. So pretty much what happened was, there is this girl, her name is Marina. She went from acting, 3 years ago, very normal, very funny, very witty, to, you can go to her channel now, but the way she talks and the way she presents herself and the way she does things now is very different from how she did them when her channel first started. Even like a few years ago, it's very different. I personally saw it from, there was this kid, I'm really sorry, I don't know his name. If I can find his video, I'll make sure to link it below. But he made a video pretty much crying out for her, saying all the things that he thinks could be going on and how much she's changed and how, he's really genuinely scared for her, and that if, nothing is wrong, he's very sorry for bringing this up, but Marina could, contact him and let him know that everything's fine, blah, blah, blah. So that's how I was introduced to it. Now, I'm not 100% sure where it actually originated. I would assume, from what I've heard, is that for the last few months, her fans have been, her actual YouTube fans, the people that subscribe to her and follow her, had been very worried for her safety and for her well-being and just for different things like that. And finally, someone, I don't know if it was this kid that made this video or just the fan base in general, kind of decided to take a larger approach to get more people to notice and to try to get her help. And it ultimately ended up with it ultimately ended up with it blowing up. First of all, it blew up so much that I saw the video on one of my fan accounts. This is how I found out about it. And then later that night, I happened to hit the search button instead of the tweet button, and I saw that it was the number one hashtag with like a disgusting amount of tweets. And it's insane how long and how many people tweeted about it. Because there are like huge major like world events that don't even get that many hashtag tweets. So it's very interesting. And people ended up, it started from this, place of, I think, genuine care. And it turned into this monster of she's being held hostage. She's, being abused, which we still don't know if that's the case. We do know that she's not held hostage. Her mom has come on and said that she's not being held hostage, this, that, and the other thing. But it has spiraled into this like crazy mystery, almost fake thing, and it's very scary. And I still don't know how I feel about it, because there are just so many things that were unanswered. There were a number of people that interviewed her and Skype called with her and, posted a video about it, and it was just weird. It was off, it was weird. Nothing was answered. Everything was like this, like a roundabout way of saying things, and not even like she was trying to avoid the answers. It was just something was up. And if you haven't seen the interviews, please just go look on YouTube and just look up Marina Joyce interview. Philip DeFranco did one, Scarce did one. Those are the specific two that I saw, but I know there were a lot more. And just look at how odd it is. I mean, it's just odd. It's just weird. There's something going on there. And not to say that it could just, be a mental disorder that people in her life aren't really, sure about because they live with her every day or whatever. I mean, it could be something as personal and as private and as sensitive as that, but it could be something like a huge drug issue, which we've heard from a lot of people that are close to her. It could be something like that. It could be something like she was one of the people that came out saying Sam Pepper sexually assaulted her. It could be PTSD from that. There are a lot of different things that could be going on, but I guess my point of this is that Jenna and Julian talked about it on the podcast this week, and they were talking about, how fans and the people they, subscribe to or look up to or follow or whatever, and how much they should feel they contribute, or that, do they have the right to try to get this girl help if something is wrong, or to, alert the entire freaking Twitter nation that something's wrong, when, this girl keeps saying that nothing's wrong now. And the weirdest part is that she tweeted about this like meetup morning rave that was going on at 6 o'clock, and it ended up getting to like big news articles saying that like ISIS had her. It like got very weird very fast. And there are a few things that I think about the fan base, but then also she like is very happy of her new subscribers and things, and I'm wondering if it's gonna end up being this like big hoax and that it was all planned. And then there's another part of me that thinks she's very innocent and had no idea that this was going on. But pretty much about the fan thing, my thoughts are that it's very hard. I know that for certain people, more than others, I would definitely feel more personally worried and hurt and anxious knowing that something may be or is seriously wrong with certain people I watch than others. I don't know. It's very hard because I feel like I would want it to stay as small and as compact and as keep as many people out of the circle of knowing as possible. I guess my thought is to try to keep it as not blown up as this happened. But at the same time, I would want to make sure that they were okay, that everything was all right, that it's a very, very, very difficult situation. And I would just know that I would want to know that everything was okay. And that if not, I would hope the person would be, sensitive to the worry and genuine in their answer and saying, things have been a little off with me lately. I'm really sorry, and I'm hoping I can explain soon. Or things have been a little off with me lately, and I'm not going to go into further detail, but thank you for worrying about me. I'm going to be okay. And it's weird because some people on the internet believe that they don't owe their followers anything, which part of me agrees with and part of me doesn't agree with, which is very interesting. And I think that's because I come from such a rooted fan perspective that I feel this way. But I think, honestly, if you're on the internet and you're an internet personality and every week you post a video or every, especially if they're vlogs, like actual, like moving vlogs, your audience is going to catch on to things. And your audience is going to know if something is wrong. And then I think your audience, your actual audience, not the entire world, cares and wants you to be okay and wants you to be healthy and happy. And so I think that they would want you to just be okay and to know that. And I think somebody on the internet would and should let the people that love them know if they're okay or not. And I feel like where it can differ is the detail. I think saying, hey, like, I'm okay. Like, guys, I'm okay. Don't need to worry about me. I'm really fine. Like, I'm sorry it seemed a little different, but I promise you everything's okay. Or, hey guys, like, thank you so much for your, thank you so much for worrying. Thank you so much for your care. Things have been a little bit off lately. And then that's where it splits. I'll talk more about it on a later date, or I don't really want to get into it, but thank you so much. I promise everything will be okay. Or I promise, if my mind changes, I'll let you know. Something like that. I feel like it's important to let people who genuinely would probably lose sleep over knowing if you were okay or not know that everything was all right. And that, I guess, is kind of how I feel about the whole fan thing. Was it okay for them to get her help? I think at this point, they probably, in the root of them, probably got so disoriented and so worried that they didn't know what to do. And there were people that genuinely thought something was seriously wrong with her, to the, that people thought she was kidnapped. And so, yeah, I guess that's just my thought. I think also another thing that I thought is that almost everyone I follow pretty closely, their family have Twitter accounts that I also follow and they're pretty regular on and I tweet with and different things. I think if we as a fan base, whatever fan base it is, thought something was seriously that wrong, that's probably where I would start, is to just be like, hey, like, is everything okay? Whatever. If the person wouldn't respond and I was just like genuinely that worried. Because people like got the police involved and it was like, it got very serious very fast. I'm serious. If you haven't looked it up, please do. Because I definitely am not giving the full scoop. And I don't even know if you'll get the full scoop because I feel like you really did have to be there that night on Twitter to get the whole gist of what really went down. Because it got very crazy very fast. So yeah, I guess that's just my thoughts. Just a little blurb of nonsensicalness. But I am at work now. I will catch up with you guys later when I'm out of work. There are still a few things that I didn't hit on that I wanted to chat about. So we definitely will do that when I get back. And I'll see you later. Bye. Hi guys, I am back from work. Oh, by the way, it's now 90 degrees out and it's 5 o'clock. So if you hear like a little noise, it's probably my AC. I would turn it off, but I would literally die if I did. So obviously I'm gonna keep it on so I don't like pass out while driving. But yes, that is that. Work was fun, I guess. It's work. Everyone I work with is really nice, so I like that. But anyway, there was something else I wanted to talk about just a little bit. It's something that I have now called, I don't know if it has a formal name to it, but I have started calling it fan depression. And it's very interesting. It's something that I've had pretty bad within the last, I'd say, few days, but definitely within like the last 24 to 48 hours. I'd say probably since last Monday. So I'd say a week. I've been kind of experiencing this. And it comes in like these waves of like really bad moments. But I guess the best way to explain what it is, and it's not, for me at least, for what I'm trying to explain, it's not PCD, which is post-concert depression, which a lot of people get after concerts because you're all hype and like excited, and then like you go back to like your normal life. So it's not that. It's specifically something different. And I feel like a lot of people who are in like the Twitter fan world probably experience this, or at least voice experiencing this a little more. It's just this overwhelming feeling of wanting to be around or wanting to talk to or wanting a hug from or whatever a certain person that you really look up to, enjoy. And I've been experiencing pretty badly with someone I've never met before. And I'm curious if that's kind of what's making it so bad, is that I feel like I'm so involved in their life and I feel like we really, like, we're friends, and, but there's just like that fact that I can't just hug them or I can't just talk to them because it's not that easy. And I guess it's something that's kind of always been there, but like that it's always kind of been there with people that I've always paid attention to or looked up to or whatever. But for some reason, like within this last few days, it's been like really bad. And it comes with a lot of feelings of, for me personally, for this quote unquote fan depression I'm talking about, which I don't even know if it's a real thing. I don't know if it's just depression, like in general, and it's just manifesting itself in these ways. But it's really specifically after like interactions of any sort. It's this immediate. I was tweeting about it on one of my accounts last night, saying like it literally feels like you're at like this huge high point and you're just so excited and not excited, but you're so happy that, this person, saw your tweet to them, or that, that they you care about them, or that, they tweeted you, and it just helps remind you that they do care and that they do love you and that you are important to them. And then immediately, like within 5 minutes after, it's like you're pushed into this hole of just rabbit hole of no return thoughts of, do they think that they have to do that? Am I annoying? Um, is this all in my head? Do they actually not like me? Are we actually not friends? It's just like these weird things. And mine's also kind of sometimes followed up with like this huge, what's the word? Like overwhelming, unrealistic fear of like getting a DM or getting a tweet from someone that I truly, truly care about and love, and would do anything to make sure that they succeed and are happy. And for them to just DM me and be like, you are so delusional, or just like, leave me alone, or why are you so annoying? Just like something like that. And it freaks me out. Like, especially within the last like 48 hours, it's really been freaking me out. And I don't know why. It's like, I kind of have had this before, but not in this, like, I guess, deep scale, I would say. I'm like wondering if I'm just like kind of in like a depressive rut, and like this is just how it's manifesting itself, is to like go off of something that makes me really happy, which is, being in a fandom and interacting with people who I care about that I can't see all the time. But it's very weird and I don't like it, obviously. And I don't know what to do about it. I feel like it's something that's almost so either not talked about, people just act like it doesn't exist, or so specific to me and how my brain works that it almost makes me seem like insane because I don't know anyone that's talked about this. I mean, I know people have said like, oh, like I miss them, or oh, but it's just this weird, like, I guess the realization that like you kind of do live in this fantasy world of thinking that, and it's so hard for me because I have a complete split brain on this. Part of me, oh, by the way, just a really random thought. There was this like study done that like people can be left and right brained, and I believe I'm one of those people because I can be so creative, so musically inclined, but I'm such a math person, such a science person, such a detail oriented person. So I kind of do believe that I like have these two conflicting brain sides that kind of like battle each other all the time, which is kind of difficult if you could imagine. But I have this one side of me that's primarily the dominant side that knows these people love me, knows these people care about me. In some of these cases, I know these people are my friends. I know that if something was to happen, I know they would care and want me to be okay. Or if I really needed something, I know that they would be able to reciprocate in helping me. Just things like that. I know that I would hope that they know that I'm, not trying to use them or not. Just weird things, okay? And then there's this other side of me inside of my brain that's very small and very, like, almost like a little, like, dude in the corner, like, hey, don't forget. Like, that's like, this is a business. Any fan thing that you encounter with another human, it is a business. They want you to like them so that you can talk tell other people, hey, like, look at this person, they're great, they really care about their fan base, you know, we're really good friends, blah, blah, blah. That they do actually think you're this annoying nuisance. I know Shane Dawson mentioned on his podcast one time, I think it was episode with Jesse Wellens, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure, and it has, like, haunted the back of my mind since I heard him say it. He says something to the effect of, and I'm not quoting, but it was to the effect of that some of your favorite YouTubers that you think love you to death actually think you're so fucking annoying and so irritating. And that Shane said, you know, like, you built this, like, you made them think that they know you and that you're friends, you know, things like that. And that is, like, my worst nightmare. And so ever since I heard that, whatever episode, whenever it was said, I cannot get it out of my head. And it's like that little piece of me that, like, is reality driven. That's like, you know, things might not be as black and white as you think they are, and that you portray to people that it is. So there's that. And then, like, just, like, knowing that unless you are contacting them in any way, talking to them, tweeting them, whatever, there's a 99.999% chance that they never think about you. And, you know, with friends, you know, randomly you'll be like, oh, I wonder how Judy's doing, or, like, you know, checking on their Twitter, or just, like, I don't know, like, genuinely caring about them. And it's, like, really scary to know that I don't, like, that you don't know that. You don't know if they even care at all. You don't know what's going on behind the curtain, and that scares me so much. And I think that's why it's important to have people who have been in the fan spot be in the industry in some sort of way. I think that's really important. That's why I'm going into arts management, because I've been to so many meet and greets. I've been to all of this shit, as I said in my Shane vlog. And I've encountered some of the worst experiences out of the best experiences because of the team and because of the way things are run. And I'm just like, why can't it be done this way? Because I know from being in the fan point of view how I wish things were done, and how I know a lot of people wish things were done. That's just a little side rant, but I don't know, this theory and this thought and this overwhelming feeling I've had lately of what I call fan depression, it just kind of sucks, because it's one of those things that, like, you just kind of have to live with. You just kind of have to, like, deal with the fact that you don't know, and deal with the fact that, I guess it's also because I've always been the person that, even if you tell me one thing about, like, me in your relationship or friendship or whatever you want to call it, like, you're like, oh my god, you're not annoying, oh my god, like, I didn't think that, or whatever, I'm always going to think that you're not telling me the truth. And I think I could just be a rare circumstance in this. And so, like, even if, like, I know there are certain people who I do interact with pretty much on a daily basis, and, you know, I've had some amazing public tweets from them, you know, from an individual saying, like, you know, I love you so much, or you're great, or you mean a lot to me, or you're really special, or I care so much about you, or you really are a great friend, just things like that. And I still, even right now, as I was sitting here, second guess even those black and white words written down, that it's something that they feel like they have to do. You know, they're kind of like, oh, poor little Ashley, like, you know, she has no friends, or I feel bad for her because she thinks we're, like, actually friends, and we're not. She's kind of delusional, and, you know, I feel like if we, you know, ignore her, she might go off a rocker and hurt herself. I mean, just, like, I mean, that wouldn't happen, but I'm just saying, like, this is kind of how my brain works. It's is that I reverse kind of what they say into something that like they either feel like they have to do, or you know, make me leave them alone. They're like, oh my god, if I just like favorite something, or if I just tweet her, or if I just DM her, like she'll leave me alone. I don't know. It's this really difficult thing I kind of grapple with a lot. And it's been pretty bad within the last like 48 hours, I would say. So I just thought I would share my thoughts on that. I don't know if this is like something that no one else experiences and it's just me, but I thought it was interesting. And I feel like people, once again, my two sides, I feel like part of me feels like it's actually pretty common and people just don't talk about it because they think that they'll sound, as I said, kind of crazy and kind of delusional and kind of, you know, whatever. This person just fucking beeped at me. The light just turned green, my friend. Calm down. God. I'm trying to have a nice, intimate conversation. God. But anyway, so people just don't talk about it because they're worried about those things being placed on them. Or I really am like this weird case that is very rare and no one else really feels this way. So I don't know. So I could be alone, but I could also have people that understand me. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Oh my god, this person is literally walking in the grass. What are you doing? Sir, ma'am, sir? A very old person is close to the road walking. There's a sidewalk on this side. What are you doing? Oh, Jesus. I don't understand people at all. Oh my god, they have the all. What are you doing? But I guess that's all for now. So yeah. Bye.